Hey guys, Fishmonger here. I want to do a quick video on Nicehash, taking a look at the Legacy miner versus the regular. Man, my hair is poofy. Hang on one second. Okay, well, apparently it's hard to be an Eagles fan with a green screen behind you. So we're going to have to try this one more time. Alrighty, there we go. Poofy hair fixed and no green screen problem, so we should be good. So as I was saying, prior to that interruption, I want to take a look at Nicehash Miner Legacy and then compare that to the regular Nicehash Miner non-legacy version, whatever you want to call that. I think they should really get a different name for this to help differentiate these. Because I got some new video cards. I got some 1060s that just came in, a 1050, a 1080, and I want to take a look to see if there's any noticeable improvements in the hashing power versus one versus the other. Obviously, there's some major UI differences, but the miners that come bundled with them, is there really any benefit from one to the other? Let's take a look. So if you're watching this video and you already have either version or both of Nicehash Miner installed, then you're all set. If not, you want to get either of them, basically just go to their website, miner.nicehash.com. You can see on the screen here, it gives you the option of Nvidia and AMD downloads. The Nvidia download is actually for the Nicehash Miner program, which is the main one on the screen. The larger picture you see, it's their Nicehash Miner version 2.0. The AMD download is for what's known as their Legacy miner, and it's also usable for Nvidia. So really, they should say Nvidia/AMD, but they don't. And I've been running some benchmarks with the software on one of my newer rigs that has both a 1060. I'm sorry, it's got 1050, 1070, and 1080 card all in it. And I want to do some comparisons to see if there really is any major differences between the two. So let's take a look real quick at what I got. Alright, so on the screen right now, I just finished running some benchmarks for the three 1050 cards, and I already have the 1080 and the 1070 benchmarked. I'm mining on Flypool in the background with the other two cards. So just for reference, if you wanted to see this, this is the DSTM miner. I'm doing 445 solutions per second on the 1070 and about 527 on the 1080. I'm not really pushing either of them. They're too hard. They're at like 80% power. But let me just stop this, and let's take a look at what we got here for some of this data. And I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. Nicehash, you really have to make it so when you click on this, it sorts it by whatever algorithm has the highest amount. Because I would just love to be able to click on this, have it sort, and then just select like the top 3 or top 4 or whatever. It would make myself and everyone else's lives a lot easier. Alright, with that being said, taking a look at some of these numbers, let's start killing some of these lower ones. We can get rid of the Kikek. Neoscript looks like it's also on the lower side, along with Decred. So far we got NIST 5 leading with a 32, and then we got a 48. There's a 24, which is also lower. A library, whatever you want to call it, LBRY. It actually has a name. I'm too lazy right now. It's really, really low with a 360. Equihash, of course, is higher. With a 48, Pascal's down, Sia and Blake has no available data. So for the 1050, I have 4 algorithms, or 3, I'm sorry, that are all roughly around the same, and this is generally what I expected to see. Lyra2 Rev2 at about 4874, Equihash at 4886. They're both pretty close. Of course, they just changed as I was reading this. Lyra is now ahead with a 5263, so it would technically gain me more Bitcoin per day versus the Equihash at a 4921. But really, we're not looking to compare these two in this one miner. We're looking to compare the one miner to the other miner. So let's load that up and see what the numbers are. Now, I never tried running both of these miners at the same exact time. I'm curious to see if it even works. Let's get rid of this for a second, because we don't need this up. We also need this up. We also don't need this up. So while this is completing some of the benchmarks on the Nicehash Miner Legacy, it is interesting to see that, the Nicehash Miner, the newer version, only gives me 11 options for my MSI GTX 1050 as far as different miners go. And then on the Nicehash Miner Legacy, I have 17 different options to choose from. So certainly a win as far as that's concerned. There could be 50,000 options in there, though, as long as they give you good speed is really the most important thing. All right, it's telling me all my benchmarks are successful. This is actually showing me some pretty interesting results. You know, the NIST 5 over here, I don't know if this is 100% comparison as far as if it's the right or the same program it's using between both of them. However, it's telling me I got 16.585 mega hash. Over here, it's 14.5 and then 16.4. So the Alexis version is apparently a little bit faster than this version here. And then, of course, it's also faster than this version here. So that's a win for Nicehash Miner Legacy. Lyra 2 Rev 2, which here it's, I guess, using CC Miner, and then here it's the Excavator version. It's going to be 14 mega hash versus 12. So this is a win for the upgraded Nicehash Miner. However, if you look at the Bitcoin per day, it's telling me it's 4522. Here, the Bitcoin per day is 7247. So the speed's a lot lower, but it's giving me a hell of a lot more Bitcoin? That's odd. Unless I'm missing a decimal. No, 0.00000000. No, that's what it's telling me. And then looking down in equihash, I got 163.638 over here on the new version. And then three different scores because it's using three different miners. The Excavator miner is 148. I know it's always lowest. EWBF at 160. That's pretty close to their numbers over here. And then a 173 for DSTM. So it would be a win in the hash rate on Nicehash Miner Legacy versus the newest one. However, you look at the ratio. Yep, no, that looks right too. See, 6447 is higher than 6037. So on a GTX 1050, I got 2 points for Nicehash Miner Legacy and 1 point for regular Nicehash Miner. Now that is interesting though. I have no idea why I got a 14 here and then a 12.7 here, but this is 7247 Bitcoin per day versus 4606. That's a big difference. I don't know why that is. Let me take a look at one of the other cards that I got in here. I'll do an apples to apples comparison on them and see how they come out. All right, and now if we take a look at the GTX 1070 I have in here, if you look at the Nicehash Miner software, the algorithms with the two best profits look to be Dagger Hashimoto and then Equihash, which makes sense because if you go on their profit page, it tells you pretty much the same numbers. Now, Equihash is telling me here it's a 424 with a Bitcoin per day of 0.0001556. And then if I look over here on Nicehash Miner Legacy, I didn't benchmark EWBF or Excavator because I know they're slower, but DSTM is telling me 433, which is faster, and then it's giving me a 0.158 Bitcoins per day. So this would be a win for Nicehash Miner Legacy as far as Equihash goes. And then if you look at Dagger Hashimoto, over here I have two options, basically the straight up ETH miner and then the Claymore dual miner, and it's 27.4 versus 28.4 for the speeds. But then if you look over here on regular Nicehash Miner, they're all coming out around 27 to 24. So again, Nicehash Miner Legacy is faster. So if I had to give, if we're keeping score right now, and what was that again, Drew?
Points that don't matter at all.
The points don't matter. That's right. The points don't matter, just like a stripper's name.
That's right. The points are just like any job you can get with a liberal arts degree.
Basically, we're looking at almost a clean sweep for Nicehash Miner Legacy right now. They're what, up 5 to 6 or 4 to 5 or something as far as points go. So it clearly looks to be a better piece of software. So I don't know why they're going backwards with the new one. Sure, it looks nice and it's probably easier to use. Well, it is easier to use. But I'm losing speed. I'm losing hash rate. It's inferior. So was I expecting that to be the outcome? I kind of was, because I've been doing some back and forth between the two of them, and I've done some other tests, and I've read up on the forums, and a lot of people basically recommend Nicehash Miner Legacy over the newer version of Nicehash, and it's for pretty much that reason, the speed. I mean, you want the most efficient mining software you can possibly use when you're mining, because it's all about making money. I mean, why use the slow software? And I've never gone over this software before, so I figure I'll do a quick summary on that right now. It's got a lot of quote-unquote advanced features, but really they're not too advanced. So let me get rid of this piece of crap here. I'll close that. When you first pop it up, it's going to ask for your server location. Throw in what's closest to you. You can throw your Bitcoin address in here. This is the one that's directly on your Nicehash page. Again, you can name your worker. You can select your devices down here. And the most important thing with this is really the settings. You can click on settings, and it's going to give you a lot more options than you see in the Nicehash Miner version 2. A lot of this stuff here, you don't really need to change. Some stuff you can, and it all depends on what your preference is. Auto start mining just automatically starts the miner when the program starts up. Hide mining windows basically hides the windows in the background so that you don't see them. Minimize mining windows basically makes it so they're there, but they're minimized. Minimize to tray just makes it so it goes down to the tray. I'm not going to go over every single one, but you pretty much it makes sense here. You can disable Nvidia, disable AMD. You can force the Nvidia P0 state, which sometimes helps the hash rate because I believe it's a power adjustment state. It kind of forces a higher power mode for certain Nvidia cards. Run with Windows is kind of neat because it automatically starts when Windows starts. And then what else is on here that's kind of important? Really not much else. In here, I think, are some really good settings. I like that I can change this. And apparently you can change these settings in the other Nicehash mining program too. You just have to edit a configuration file, but that's stupid. I hate doing that. It should just be in the GUI, again, in like an advanced tab. Like it's easier for people that way. But right here, switch minimum fixed. I forgot what the default is on this though, but it's really low. And really, this is the time in seconds that the miner will wait at least before it looks to consider switching, mining something else or using a different algorithm. And one of the things I hate about Nicehash is it just switches all the time because everybody's switching all the time because everybody's using the same defaults because everybody's always trying to mine the most profitable coin. So you spend a good chunk of the time closing and reopening software. And if you know mining software, it tends to kind of have like a ramp-up time too. So not only do you lose hashing time when it's changing programs, but you lose a little bit of efficiency in the beginning when it first makes that switch. So I have this set to 900 seconds. For all you math people out there, that is 15 minutes according to my calculating program. So really what this means is that let's say I load up Nicehash Miner Legacy and I hit start and it says, oh, okay, the most profitable thing right now is equihash. It loads up DSTM and starts mining equihash. I'm going to be guaranteed to run equihash for at least 15 minutes before it looks again to check up the numbers to see if I should switch to something else. And if I do, and basically it's going to say, all right, at least 15 minutes, and then there's a dynamic switch here. It says 30 seconds. And basically what this does, which is interesting, is... And if you read the bottom part, random part is used to prevent all worldwide Nicehash Miner Legacy users to have the exact same switching pattern. Interesting, isn't it? Because it knows that the defaults, everybody has the defaults. A lot of people don't change this. So literally everybody is always switching at roughly the same time. But they have this dynamic switch in there saying, okay, it's a minimum of 900, but sometimes it's 930 seconds. Sometimes it's 900 and somewhere between 0 and 30 seconds. And it's going to randomly change you. However, because I have at least a minimum of 900 seconds, I'm guaranteed to be a lot more off than everybody else. So I'm like a little bit outside of the norm when it comes to profit switching. But quite honestly, I think that's fine because I don't want to be switching the same exact time everybody else is switching because then most likely it's probably going to hurt my efficiency. Then this last tab here, devices and algorithms. This is pretty much the same thing as the main screen where if I go here and show you where you have the benchmark, you can click this up and you can click different cards to do different benchmarks. So if you come in here, it just says pretty much you can click on everything and you can select different algorithms to mine. I don't know what's up with this. Maybe this is just me, but this never works for me. I click on check all profitability. Doesn't matter what I choose, it always comes up with this screen that says this page does not exist. So maybe it's just me, or maybe the page just really doesn't exist. I don't know. Like I said, it doesn't matter what I choose. I want to choose this card and let's say this thing, and then I click on profitability, And thanks, Nicehash, but this page does not exist. So, good job. All right, so that's it for today. And again, to summarize, Nicehash Miner Legacy, I definitely think it's worth looking into over the regular Nicehash mining program. You're going to gain speed, you're going to gain hash rate, you're going to lose the pretty GUI. You might need a little bit of time to kind of get used to it, but it's worth it in the end because once you figure it out and you're using it, you're going to be making a lot more money, which is really good for you. So this is Fishmonger. I'm signing out. I'll catch you later.